Hey there, I'm Julie, and this is the Married to Addiction podcast. If you're here, then you're probably what I call my secret sister. We're in a situation we never asked to be in and fighting a battle we never wanted to fight. We're faith-filled women who are married to an alcoholic, and it affects every inch of our lives. If that sounds like you, then this is a safe place for you to land. Married to Addiction is a faith-based podcast where I help you find the tools and strength you need to navigate your husband's addiction without losing yourself in the process. So please subscribe and tune in as often as you can, because your husband's recovery is important, but so is yours. Some big news for you today. I have a brand new, powerful, free coaching series that was taken directly from the Get Off of the Addiction Roller Coaster event that I had earlier this year. I have rebuilt it as a free coaching series that you can sign up for, and it will help you, just like the title says, get off of the addiction roller coaster. Even if you think your husband will never get sober, there is still so much you can do to reduce the chaos in your life and stop feeling so helpless. So if you feel like your life is out of control and you aren't sure what to do next, and every single day just feels like an emotional roller coaster, then this is the absolute best place for you to start. So in this coaching series, we talk about some traps that you may have fallen into, how you can access and position the power that you already have, which you may not even realize you have, and how to use the right tools in your situation. After going through this free coaching series, you'll know how to reduce the friction and conflict in your home. You'll be able to provide a more peaceful environment for yourself and your family. You'll know exactly what to do when tense or stressful moments arise, and you will experience a refreshed spirit and renewed empowerment. Now, this coaching series is all delivered to you via email, and you just log into a private platform to access each day's content. I think you're going to get so much out of this, and it is absolutely free. To sign up today, just head to marriedtoaddiction.com/roller coaster. Hope you decide to join me there. The Married to Addiction podcast is brought to you by the Secret Sister Circle. The Secret Sister Circle private group coaching program was designed to take the Christian wife of an alcoholic from hurting to healing. If your life feels unmanageable because of your husband's drinking, if you feel consumed by his addiction and you're constantly trying to figure out how to stop it, if you have let everything else in your life fall by the wayside, including yourself, then the SSC was created for you. I actually built the SSC around what I needed back when my husband was deep in addiction. I clearly remember sitting on the floor of my closet one day, just bawling and frantically searching Google for help. I couldn't really find what I needed, which was help, detailed help, step-by-step help, designed for a Christian wife, because it was also super important to me to have that element built in because of my faith. And I wanted to be guided by that, from that angle. So if that sounds like you, we would love to have you join us in the Secret Sister Circle. You can get the help you need without feeling exposed. It's a private online program with a private online community of other wives just like you. And you are taken step by step through every possible scenario that you could encounter as the wife of an alcoholic. We would love to have you join us. You can get started beginning today and start moving towards healing. Just go to www.marriedtoaddiction.com and look for the tab that says Secret Sister Circle. We'd love to have you join us. Hello, and welcome in to episode 99 of the Married to Addiction podcast. Today's episode is called, If Only He'd Change, I'd Be Fine. And man, if I had $1 for every time I thought or said that, I would be so rich. Because for such a long time, I was totally convinced that my life was on hold unless and until my husband got sober. And until then, I was hopelessly stuck in absolute misery. I felt hopeless if I stayed. I felt like it was hopeless if I left. I felt like my life was a nightmare with no way out because my husband wasn't changing. Does that sound familiar to you? If it does, I totally get it, because as I said, that was me too. But today I want to talk about the big problem with this kind of thinking. The main problem when we think like this and when we accept this as our truth is that you are giving all of your power away. You are placing the outcome of your entire life into someone else's hands. Your life, which you only get one of, by the way. Your days, which you will never get back. Your weeks, your months, etc. You wouldn't be willing to give that power away in any other circumstance, and yet we do it here. Our job as the wife of an alcoholic is actually to figure out how to be okay now. I'm going to say that again. Our job, especially as the Christian wife of an alcoholic, is to figure out how to be okay now. Now, we may not be blissful every day, but you can be okay. And the bigger piece of this is you can even have joy right now, because joy is a gift from God. Joy is not a feeling based on circumstances. It's something that we get from God. So let's talk about some shifts that you can start to make to get you away from this type of thinking, to keep you from being stuck in this type of thinking, to keep you from feeling like you have no power and no hope. The first thing you can do is when you catch yourself living in the frustration of his not changing day after day, I want you to catch yourself doing that, and I want you to stop and think, what can I do instead? Not, he's not doing XYZ, and until he does, my life is hopeless. But what can I do? That right there is taking back your power. Another one is when you feel yourself focusing on resentment, or resentment's bubbling up, or you're feeling bitterness, etc. Things, toxic things like that that you're holding. I want you to stop yourself in that moment, and I want you to refocus right then on something that brings you joy instead. Now, it might be something small, it might be something big, it might just be the beautiful clouds in the sky. But the point is, we want to stop that resentment that you're holding in its tracks, because it is not changing your situation, it is only changing you. So stop it in the moment and refocus on something that brings you joy instead. This is something you'll have to be intentional about. This is a practice. This is not something that you do at once and you do it always. But we can choose in those moments to focus on something better. When you find yourself thinking things like, and this was me, by the way, this was 1,000% me. I don't need help. Okay, he needs help. He's the one with the problem. I don't need help. I want you to stop, and I want you to not pass go and not collect $200. I want you to get help immediately, because if you are thinking that, you need the help. You need to start working on your recovery, whether you think you do or not. And maybe, you know what, maybe even just hearing me say that, you're like, yeah, whatever, lady. I double dog dare you to just reach out for help in some way, apply what you learn, and see if it doesn't change things. Spoiler alert, it will. Because getting help for you can change your life right now. It can help you take your power back. You have more power than you think you do, I promise you. You don't just have to lay down the rest of your life and wait for your husband to get sober. You can take your power back, and I encourage you to try to start doing that today. If you don't know where to start with that, I get it, because I most certainly did not back then. I was lost and didn't even know what to do or where to go. And then when I finally started reaching out for some help, it either didn't resonate with me, or, I wasn't comfortable with it, or whatever it was. I understand if you're in that place. So if you do not know where to start, please just do one thing for me today. Go to www.marriedtoaddiction.com and click on the Everything Start Here page. Okay? There are a variety of resources there to help you, including a free coaching series called How to Get Off the Addiction Roller Coaster that is designed in part to completely help you take your power back, right? Or at least to get a real good start on that. There are even buttons to click on that page that you can click on based on what type of help you need the most right now. So it'll say like, I need help with such and so. I need help with such and so. Super easy to navigate to the help that you need the most right now. So please go take a look at it today. Whether you think you deserve or whether you think you need help or not, you do, and you absolutely deserve healing and happiness beginning right now. And you do not have to wait for your husband to get sober to have those things. So I hope that's given you some hope today. As always, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Quick question for you before I let you go today. Have you been to the Married to Addiction website? If you haven't, I would love if you would go pay it a visit. It's just marriedtoaddiction.com. And over there, you can see just a lot of different information about my podcast. There is a blog on there. There's some free resources for you. And there's also a few ways that you can actually get some help if you need a little more help and direction and support as you travel this difficult path with your addicted husband. So if you haven't yet, please go visit marriedtoaddiction.com. Thanks so much.